In this video, we'll make stoichiometry easy and simple to understand. In stoichiometric problem, first we write balanced chemical equation. So like here, 1 mole of nitrogen combines with 3 moles of hydrogen and make 2 moles of ammonia. So the question is, what amount of hydrogen is produced from 25 moles of ammonia? So first we write what is the given amount, that is 25 moles of ammonia, and required is what amount of hydrogen. So moles of hydrogen is we have to find, and given is moles of ammonia. So this is comparing the mole ratio is between hydrogen and ammonia. So first we write the given amount, 25 moles of ammonia. So we write here 25 moles of ammonia. Given amount is 25 moles of ammonia times mole ratio. So mole ratio is between nitrogen and hydrogen. So we have to find moles of hydrogen. So we write 3 moles of hydrogen and makes 2 moles of ammonia. So make 2 moles of ammonia. So moles of ammonia cancels unit, and we have 25 times 3 is 75 over 2, that is 37.5 moles of hydrogen. This is the answer. So first we write given amount times mole ratio. Okay. So one more example we'll do similar. What amount of nitrogen is produced from 50 moles of ammonia? So now the mole ratio is between nitrogen and ammonia. So given amount is 50 moles of ammonia. We write 50 moles of ammonia. Required is moles of hydrogen. So first we write the given amount. So that is 50 moles of ammonia times mole ratio. So mole ratio is between nitrogen and ammonia. So 1 mole of nitrogen makes 2 moles of ammonia. So we write 1 mole nitrogen makes 2 moles of ammonia. So this is a mole ratio. So 1 mole of nitrogen makes 2 moles of ammonia. So we write, so ammonia is here. So we have done, we write ammonia so that this unit get cancelled. Moles of ammonia, moles of ammonia. So 50 times 1 is 50 upon 2. That is 25 moles of nitrogen. So 25 moles of nitrogen. Okay, next example, we'll do one more. Same equation, nitrogen plus hydrogen gives ammonia. So 1 mole of nitrogen combines with 3 moles of hydrogen to make 2 moles of ammonia. So now question is, what amount of hydrogen is produced from 100 grams of ammonia? So here mass is given in 100 gram. So 100 gram of ammonia. And we have to find moles of hydrogen. So everything we take in moles. So first we convert 100 grams into moles. So first we write the given amount. So 100 grams of NH3, and we convert into moles. So we know 1 mole of ammonia equivalent to 17 grams per mole. So we calculate the molar mass of NH3. This is 1 mole. So what is the mass of this? Molar mass, nitrogen 14 plus there are 3 hydrogens. So 3 times 1, hydrogen atomic mass 1, it comes to 17 grams per mole. So 1 mole of ammonia is 17 grams. So we write times 1 mole NH3 equivalent to 17 grams of ammonia. So this is, we change grams to moles. Now we multiply by mole ratio. So mole ratio is 3 moles of hydrogen combines with 2 moles of ammonia. So this is a mole ratio. There is a comparison between hydrogen and ammonia. So we have to find moles of hydrogen. So we write 3 moles hydrogen upon 2 moles of ammonia. So 2 moles NH3. So first we change grams to moles. Moles of ammonia. Now moles of ammonia times mole ratio. So grams of ammonia cancel with grams of ammonia. Moles of ammonia cancel with moles of ammonia. So now we have 100 times 3, that is 300 upon 17 times 2 is 34. So 300 divided by 34 equivalent to 300 divided by 34. It comes to 8.82 moles of hydrogen. So grams given, grams into, we convert into moles. We know 1 mole of ammonia is 17 grams. So here grams written here, given is grams. So we write down also grams. So 17 grams ammonia equivalent to 1 mole times mole ratio. Mole ratio is 3 moles of hydrogen makes 2 moles of ammonia. So whatever we have to find, we write at the top. So we have to find moles of hydrogen. So first we write 3 moles of hydrogen upon moles of ammonia. So like this, the units get cancelled, moles of ammonia, and final answer we get in moles of hydrogen. Okay, so next question. What amount of ammonia will produce from 30 grams of nitrogen? So given is 30 grams of nitrogen and required is moles of ammonia. So there is now mole ratio we have to take between nitrogen and ammonia. So first we write 30 grams of nitrogen. So 30 grams of N2. Now grams we have to change into moles. We know 1 mole of nitrogen equivalent to 28 grams. The nitrogen's atomic mass is 14. So 14 plus 14 is 28. So multiply by 1 mole nitrogen equivalent to 28 grams of nitrogen, 28 grams times mole ratio. So mole ratio is 1 mole of nitrogen combines with 3 moles of ammonia. So we have to find moles of ammonia. So we write here 2 moles of ammonia. Whatever we have to find, we are right at the top. 2 moles of ammonia upon 1 mole of nitrogen. One mole of N2. So grams of nitrogen cancels. Moles of nitrogen cancels. Now we have 30 times 2, that is 60 upon 28. So 60 over 28 equal to 2.14 moles of ammonia. So what amount of ammonia? So we got answer in 2.14 moles of ammonia. The next example, N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. Suppose it is, if we say, what amount of NH3 will produce from 500 grams of nitrogen. 500 grams of nitrogen. So first we write given amount. So given is 500 gram nitrogen. Is given in grams, we change into moles. And then what is required? amount of ammonia, that is moles of ammonia. We have to find moles of NH3. Now we take mole ratio between nitrogen and ammonia. So first we write the given amount, so 500 grams. So 500 grams of nitrogen. We have to change into moles times. We know 1 mole of nitrogen is equal to how many? Nitrogen is 14 plus 14, 28 grams. So 1 mole of nitrogen is 28 grams. Now times mole ratio. So what is mole ratio? Moles of ammonia we have to find. So 2 moles of ammonia requires 1 mole of nitrogen. This is the mole ratio. So whatever is asked, we write at the top. So we have to find moles of ammonia. So first we write 2 moles of ammonia requires 1 mole of nitrogen. Now the unit get cancelled. Grams of nitrogen cancel. Moles of nitrogen cancel with moles of nitrogen. Now what we have, 500 times 2, that is 1000 upon 28. So 1000 divided by 28 equals to 35.7 moles of ammonia. So this is the answer. I hope now you understand this stoichiometric problems to solve. First, we write the given amount times mole ratio. If it is given in grams, we change grams to moles. So whatever grams times 1 mole equivalent to molar mass, we write. Grams cancel. Then we write mole ratio. So what is required, we write at the top. So 2 moles of ammonia, because moles of ammonia we have to find. So from the mole ratio, we know 2 moles of ammonia requires 1 mole of nitrogen. Then we cancel these units and then we get answer in moles of ammonia. I hope you like this video. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you.